The third generation of handheld gaming introduced the third installment of the Pokémon franchise, marking a significant moment for both fans and the industry. Anticipation was high, as the continued success of the long-running anime series maintained interest, but left audiences eager for more actual games. So, in 2004 in Japan and 2005 internationally, Pokémon Emerald version was released for the Game Boy Advanced. If you've played a Pokémon game before, then you know a lot of what is coming. But just in case you are the one person in the world who's found a Game Boy Advanced in the attic with Pokémon Emerald in it, and you didn't know what it was, and this is where you've ended up to find out more, then strap yourself in, because this one's just for you. So, Pokémon Emerald is a monster tamer JRPG developed by Game Freak and published by the Pokémon Company and Nintendo. This installment serves as the definitive version of the Hoenn sagas Ruby and Sapphire. Most of the mechanics remain the same as other mainline games. You play from an isometric perspective, moving up, down, left or right throughout the overworld, with interaction options available for non-player characters. Wild Pokémon are encountered when you walk through grass, travel on water or explore caves, which then triggers an exciting turn-based battle. Combat displays key statistics such as level, quantity of remaining Pokémon, health points and status effects. Battles involve strategic selection among 4 move options per Pokémon. You have to take consideration of elemental attributes and involve the management of limited move usages. Defeated Pokémon must be replaced until one party exhausts its available team and are declared the winners. Victorious Pokémon gain experience, which improves their stats and occasionally grants them new abilities as they level up, and sometimes they even evolve. And you, anonymous non-Pokémon knower, evolving Pokémon is a really big deal, okay? Just know that. However, when you fight against wild Pokémon, when they're at low health, you can grab a Pokéball and you throw it at the Pokémon, and if they're at low enough health, if you've done enough status effects, maybe you can capture them and add them to your roster as an indentured slave. But they're really happy about it. From the outside, it looks really bad, but the Pokemon are all fine with it. So, like that's the situation. Okay, there's nothing bad. It looks bad, but everyone's okay. They say. Like its predecessors, Pokémon Emerald features some changes in Pokémon availability and rarity, and notably includes some Pokémon from Pokémon Gold and Silver that weren't available in Ruby and Sapphire. And, similar to Pokémon Yellow's approach, it does present a few changes to the storyline. You take on the role of a Pokémon trainer, either Brendan or May, navigating the Hoenn region. You receive one of 3 starter Pokémon from Professor Birch, and you set out to defeat the masters of 8 Pokémon gyms before challenging the Elite Four and the regional champion. Along the way, you will occasionally come across your rival, which is the other unchosen player character. And here's where things start to feel a little bit different from your Pokémon Reds and Blues, you will also be interacting with an overarching narrative that requires you to thwart criminal cults who are intent on exploiting legendary Pokémon to, reshape the world. So, yeah, distinct from Team Rocket's antics in the Kanto region, the antagonists here in Hoenn are rival groups who seek to reshape the world using legendary Pokémon. So in Sapphire, you would collaborate with Team Magma against Team Aqua to stop them unleashing floods across the world. And in Ruby, you would collaborate with Team Aqua to stop Team Magma from doing something equally horrible to the world. Pokémon Emerald takes a slightly different approach, in that when these 2 factions come and face off, you don't join either side, you find a solution to deal with both of them, which is kind of cool. I'm not going to spoil what that solution is, because you might really enjoy it. Also, there is no hidden alternate secret ending where you actually get to choose to join the baddies and destroy the world. I know you were thinking of it. Don't pretend you weren't. You're a monster. As well as this escalation in world stakes, there are some mechanical upgrades from earlier games too. There are double battles, which introduces some cooperative and kind of adversarial dynamics, with certain moves tailored for multi-targets or additional support of your own teammates. It adds a little bit of extra strategy to what is still ever so slightly a little bit kind of maybe baby's first JRPG, and I think that's a good thing. There is also multiplayer functionality, and you can trade and battle across other third-generation titles via a link cable or wireless. So if you found 2 Game Boy Advances in the loft, or a GameCube, and you've got the right games, then you can properly get trading and battling to your heart's content. It will be more fun if you include a friend in that. But you can do it on your own. You know, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. You do you. You do you, dude. Replayability isn't necessarily something that is hugely applicable to this game, but where it isn't hugely replayable, it is just a big old game. There is easily 100 hours of content to play through. Early on in the game, you get the PokéNav device, and that is what allows you to access the world map and check your Pokémon statistics, but you can also communicate with other trainers to arrange rematches. And it introduces the ability to go up against gym leaders again, which is a first for the series and is very cool. Post-game content is substantially expanded through the Battle Frontier. The Battle Frontier offers multiple venues which reward successful competitors with battle points, which are redeemable for prizes that you can use both in and out of battle. And, of course, obviously, completing the Pokédex and catching them all is going to be a significant driver for a large portion of the fan base. However, achieving that in 2025, and actually, frankly, achieving it back then, was nearly impossible. You would have to have multiple consoles, multiple copies of multiple games. It was a nightmare back then when people still had these around, and this was a big game that lots of people were playing. Functionally now, it's almost impossible. Unless you get one of those Code Junkies Action Replay Game Shark gadgets and you hack the game to oblivion like you're Hugh Jackman in Swordfish. Should I have said The Matrix? Nah, I'm good. And frankly, it appears that the hacking route may be literally the only way anyone has ever been able to fully complete the Pokédex, because it's the only way that you can get a specific promotional ticket that you had to get to access Faraway Island, which is where the rarest Pokémon is found, and there may never have actually been a way to get that token in real life. So if you are a die-hard completionist, be prepared to buy a lot of copies of these games and some game hacking stuff. If you're not a die-hard completionist and you just want to play through with the Pokemon that you find and you're happy not ticking it all off, you're going to have a fantastic time. So, what have we got on our hands here? Well, it's the same incredible bones of the earlier games with a fantastic full-colour look, classic sound with some nice twists to combat, and a more intricate, nuanced and mature narrative, adding up to well over 100 hours of gameplay. Whilst, yes, achieving total mastery of the Pokédex and the game and catching them all will be literally impossible if all you have is the base game, the process of playing through all of the gym leaders and building your roster, finding your Pokémon and building your team, and becoming the very best is going to deliver substantial satisfaction. Pokémon Emerald stands out as a challenging but highly rewarding entry in the series that exemplifies all of the factors that have made Pokémon such a long-lived and appealing franchise. 9 out of 10. Pros, huge, majestic adventure, brand new content, better, more relatable narrative changes. Cons, it's still a nightmare to actually catch them all. Let us know what you think about Pokémon Emerald down in the comments. While you're down there, doing the things that YouTubers always say of smashing the like button or hitting subscribe only takes half a second, and if you've enjoyed what we're doing and you fancy seeing some more, it helps a small channel starting out an awful lot, and we would really appreciate it. Also, check out the links in the description. You can read Gary's full review or check out some of our other reviews or game guides on gametips.gg.